Hello, amazing people. Thank you for tuning in to the Friday Night Mic Drop at the Ryan Files. Let's go. We got so much to talk about. I'm going to make sure that everything's out there. You guys can hear me. I can see that it's coming through. Someone give me a thumbs up just to make sure. We've got a lot of people out there tonight. Thank you so much for stopping in. This is a special night. It really is. What do we got here? We've got Heather. How you doing? Heather, I've got your email. I got the email from the person there in Scranton, and I will be responding. It's just been a busy day. And we'll figure something out, I think. I think we're going to figure something out. Margaret, how you doing? Awesome. Sheila Sutton, how you doing? Let's see here. Julie Whitthorne, how you doing? Joe, how you doing? Joe, Sheila again. Tony, how you doing, buddy? How you been? How's work going, Tony? You guys getting some construction done there? Getting some manly stuff built? I love it. Jill, how you doing? Brenda Castleberry, thanks for joining us. Deneen. Oh, very cool. Deneen, thank you for joining along with us. Appreciate that. That's awesome. John, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you out there. And Christine, of course, always. Faye Smith, hello. Tina Geyer, thank you. Awesome. All right. I think we got it. Ah, man, thank you so much for joining me on this special night, and I'll tell you why it's a special night. It is a special night because as of 4:35 p.m. Central Time, for all you on the East Coast, 5:35 your time, the Ryan Files hit 10,000 subscribers, which is awesome. They say that in order for your podcast to be able to have the potential to take off and do some things, amazing things, you have to get to 10,000. And man, it was a really, really tough ride out of the gate. It was over a year before we got 1,000. And I was hoping for much shorter than that. But you know what? We got there. It doesn't matter. And think about this, April 16th, less than 2 months ago, we were less than 1,500 subscribers. Think about that. It took us a year and a half to get to that number. Pretty much a year and a half. If you look at basically November 1st, Halloween, November 1st is where the first episode of the Ryan Files came out. So end of April would be a year and a half. So it took us basically almost a year and a half to get 1.5 thousand subscriptions. And here we are, a month and a half later, and we have 10,000. So, and 10,000 is that benchmark mark that you need to get to where it's like, okay, this is viable. We can do something here. So, man, number one, it's a reason to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate tonight, that's for sure. And I'm so thankful, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's awesome. Kind of just kind of in shock and awe still. So anyways, let's see. Cowboy 4572. I'm not sure who that is, but let me know if you want. That's awesome. Yeah, 10,000, man. And like, look at the chat, look at all the greens. Not down on anyone who's not in the green, but man, you guys, just with your help and support, I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. And I mean, you're talking, you ask Amy, if next time you see Amy, I mean, we're 60 plus hours a week probably working on all this stuff. And above and beyond just, the Elvis stuff at Legend. So just trying to grow it, and it's awesome. So Heather, yeah, I did read your email, and they emailed me, just so you know. And yeah, I mentioned it earlier. We're gonna get it done. We'll figure something out. So yeah, man, it's so crazy. The last couple episodes, Finn has just been. It's like here, and she was up here right until the moment we went live, and then she left. Crazy cat. And man, we had some awesome episodes coming up. We do. I don't know if you guys notice, like, do you guys get on any of the I don't know if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, but I drop these. It's supposed to be good. And I mean, apparently it's having an impact because we're advancing and whatnot, but YouTube likes you to have shorts, which are videos that are under a minute long. I create those for YouTube, and then I also put them up on X and Facebook. And if you ever see those, if you like it or whatnot, feel free to share it. That's awesome. It helps out. But hey, how you doing, Kathy? But they're kind of just like commercials, short commercials for the upcoming weeks. And I thought this would be cool. I'm going to try it. And we'll talk about, actually, before we do that, before we get to next week's episode of the Ryan Files, we had a very controversial episode this week with Daniel Duval. Daniel Duval. Kind of wild and awesome. So funny. My sister really enjoyed it. She's heard Daniel Duval on Blurry Creatures before. And Blurry Creatures is awesome. Part of the reason why I got into wanting to, and it's not why I got into it, I guess. They were just, in a weird sort of way. Yeah, they were part of me pulling the trigger on this. And when I went to Peru, they were there. It was their trip along with Timothy Alberino. So there's a connection there. And someday that will flush itself out, I'm sure. But anyways, my sister was like, yeah, I love them. And she enjoyed the episode. My mom and dad were like, oh, I don't know about that. So it's funny. And even the guys on Blurry talk about it. They're like, yeah, it's controversial. People love them or hate them. But I'm not out judging anything Daniel said. It's a wild world out there. I do know that. It's a wild world out there. There's more to this world going on than what you're being fed. And I like Daniel's perspective on some things for sure. So, anyways, if anybody has any comments about this is the time to ask. I know I saw Christine Jeffords was like, oh my gosh, I got so many questions. And I said, bring them to the Friday Night Mic Drop. That's the other thing. You guys bring questions to Friday Night Mic Drop if you have any. And not that I'm going to be able to answer them, but at least I can find maybe someone who does have the answer, or we could go back to the guest and ask them. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Something I found out interesting this week, listening to another I got sources, and I do have to say thank you so much to guys like Justin Sassinella at Legends in Concert, one of the Blues Brothers. He's out there all the time. Just I don't have the time to like research or just get ideas, but he is out there all the time, and he listens to podcasts all the time. He has a second job. He mows lawns, and so he's listening all the time. I love it. He's kind of like me. He listens at double speed so he can listen to more. Interesting. But anyway, he is a very good source of information. A lot of things that he'll be in the dressing room and he'll be like, hey, what about this? And I'll say, send it. And when I get a second, I'll listen to it. And I love that. I love when people do that. My mom today told me about a book she was reading, and I said, take a picture of it. And I reached out to the author. So, that's a great way to build a community. And if you have anything like that, get a hold of me. Everybody knows they can get a hold of me. The Ryan Pelton Files at gmail.com. It's on the website. You can go through the contact form on the website too, but that's how you get a hold of me. So get a hold of me. Always interested in new topics and questions. Once again, thank you guys, all the people in green. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And not that I don't love everybody else, but man, thank you. So Daniel Duval, if you have any questions, drop them in. But next week is an episode that is controversial, but near and dear to my heart. Because I'm a geek. I don't know that this is... The implications of this week's episode coming up are very big. And a lot of people will just reject it out of... just because it's a new idea, let's reject it. But here's the thing. The Mayan calendar, the Egyptians, the Egyptian history... ancient Sumerian tablets, some things in the Bible. There's a lot of history that points towards a cyclical period of destruction on the earth. Every about 3,600 years or so, it seems like we go through a cataclysm. Sometimes, it's thought to be, listen, I'm not telling you this as fact. I'm telling you this for all the YouTube bots out there listening. I'm not telling you this is factual. I'm telling you this is a theory, much like many theories out there that end up being true and whatnot. So, but there is definitely like this cyclical thing that happens about every 3,600 years on Earth where we go through some sort of a cataclysm. You can look in the Bible. The flood event was definitely one of those. The Exodus in the Bible, which, this is whenever all the plagues happened. And could those plagues have been caused by this cataclysmic thing that happens? And next week's guest is a guy who has been researching this for a long time. He used to be like a science reporter, advisor, whatever, for CNN. So it's not like the guy is just some, crazy cockeyed whatever. He's out there. He's a smart dude too. And we're talking about nemesis. Now, you can talk about this, people might know this as Planet X. They might know it as Nibiru. And just a little background on that, Nibiru is a planet around a brown dwarf star called Nemesis. It's like a miniature solar system. Think of it that way. It has three main planets. Nemesis is the sun, which is a brown dwarf star called Nemesis. There's three planets. The outermost planet is called is called Nibiru, which can be referred to as Planet X. Sometimes Planet X refers to the entire system. Nemesis or Nibiru, just Planet X is just a generic term. And the idea of Nibiru goes all the way back to the Sumerian ancient tablets. in the Anunnaki account. So it's interesting how you get this, mixture of ancient written history, the Bible, and then actual recorded events. There's, at this point in time, I don't even know why there's people hanging on talking about there not being a global flood. The amount of evidence is overwhelming, not just a biblical narrative, but every freaking narrative out there worldwide. There was a worldwide flood. It's just like, boom, obvious. If you're going to discount the Bible, you're going to have to find another argument. Because by discounting it to discount the Bible, you're discounting every other thing out there. And it's just like, it doesn't hold up. So, which is kind of funny, but anyway, let's go. Oh, Christine Jefford said something and then she retracted her message. How about that? The early episodes, love them. Me too, Heather. What is the green for? Sorry. Oh, the green, Kathy, the green are people who are just channel members. They come on, they get to watch episodes early and use all the cool emojis. Michael, I'm not sure who Michael is, but how you doing, Michael? Okay, Daniel was talking about levels of heaven or multiple heavens. I had never heard of that before. Yeah, so the Bible talks about this, and it's an interesting conversation that has been interpreted so many different ways. The heavens, you hear the heavens. Well, what's that mean? And this goes into the flat earth people who are like, well, the heavens, what are the heavens? And the footstool of God and all kinds of stuff. So it is a real argument out there. But what Daniel was saying is basically that you have a first heaven. Paul talks about this, the first heaven, which is basically the sky, the birds, the air, all that. And then you have this second heaven, which is another dimensional plane where, let's just say, angels hang out. Stuff like that. And then the third heaven is where God is. God in his kingdom and throne are in the third heaven. So that's what Daniel was referring to. And it's all based upon scripture in the Bible. And like I said, though, it's interesting how everybody can interpret that different ways. Most people I know interpret it the way Daniel did. But there are people, especially flat earth people, who will, try to approach the flat earth thing from a biblical standpoint, and say, no, that's not what it means. So there's controversy. It doesn't matter. It's not going to, your soul, Jesus Christ in the gospel doesn't have anything to do with your definition of the heavens, but you might be able to understand things a little bit better if you have the accurate description of it. And I tend to believe a little bit more of what Daniel believes, that there's, our basic dimension is the first heaven, and the second heaven is almost like another dimension, like a spiritual realm, so to speak. And then where God's throne is heaven, where you might imagine, God sitting on his throne, it would be the third heaven. So that is, yeah. All right. Michael, Rick Cicito's friend. Hey, Michael. Awesome. How's Rick doing? Tell him I said, hey. I was telling the boys in the dressing room the other day, we played that song, Memphis, I'm Coming Home. I was like, man, I don't know if anybody sounds more like Elvis than Rick Cicito. So, dude's awesome. I love him. So who says where someone goes? Is this based upon faith? Is this based upon rules of travel? I'm not sure if I understand the question, Christine. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question. So, but you can refine it, or you can get a hold of me. You know how to get a hold of me, for crying out loud. You know how to get a hold of me. So anyways, yeah, I wanted to show you this, and this is me using technology. I promise I'll probably screw this up. So we have this first video that was shown this week, and just take a look at it. It's about this upcoming episode. Tell me what you think. Here we go. Yeah. I don't know that I go out and see a lot of astronomers who are just like, oh man, I'm like a rebel. I'm a rebel astronomer.
You're going to get fired, or we're going to take away your funding of your entire complex. They sent out two probes, 10 and 11. 10 was looking in the northern skies, and 11 was looking in the southern skies. 10 was a bust, 11 hit pay dirt. The only way to observe it is with infrared. And in infrared, Nemesis stands out like a sore thumb. They did a sky survey with the IRAS. It was very extensive. And if you remember Google Sky, you were seeing 1983 with the missing star panels. And the missing star panels where there were just blackness and nothing done happened to be where Nemesis was discovered.
Don't miss the rest of the story. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central. All right. So did that all work? Did like everybody hear that? Make sure that like that happened, because I think it did, but let me know if you were able to hear that and everything. But that's one of those shorts that I put out. I put out 3 to 4 of those a week. Just to, it's like advertisements for the episode. So let me know if that actually worked and you heard it. But interesting fellow, right? That's Marshall Masters. Yeah, he's pretty interesting dude, man. And he talks about it. And that is interesting too. Google Sky, which I remember. Yeah, that was all from the IRAS satellite, infrared satellite, 1993. And I remember the missing panels in Google Sky. I didn't realize it was the IRAS satellite from 1983, but I know about the missing panels, and apparently that's where this thing is. Let me go back to and show you the other one, just in case you missed it, just to kind of get you on board with what we've got. That was the blue one. Let's go with this one. And yeah, take a check out on this one too. This is the first one, and you'll get a little better idea as well. Here you go. He's a former CNN Science Field feature producer, veteran of the tech world. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm excited. This is going to be awesome. I've been wanting to find someone to talk to about this subject. Welcome, the one and only Marshall Masters. Thank you so much for coming on the Ryan Files.
Well, first off, Nemesis is here. It was known to the ancients as the Destroyer. They're misdirecting them to this thing called Planet 9, which is scientifically just a big load of poo-poo caca. When you talk about Nemesis, you were talking really about a mini constellation with the brown dwarf star at the center of it. The flood tail was a pole shift event. This object comes around about every 3,600 lunar years. It's deeply inclined to the ecliptic.
Catch a full episode this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central on the Ryan Files. All right. Yes, the term poo-poo caca is used several times in the episode by Marshall. Marshall's a cool dude. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. So anyway, yeah, it's an interesting episode. Yeah, check it out this week. And I love the diversity of the Ryan Files, how we can talk about so many different subjects. It's kind of cool. And we got some amazing ones coming up, man. We really do. Probably one of the favorite interviews I've done so far is with a gal by the name of Vicki Joy Anderson. Got a chance to meet her in person as well. And she's special. She's going to be not this coming week, but the week after. A gentleman named Scott Creighton from Scotland. It's awesome. Scott from Scotland. I talked to Scott from Scotland for nearly 2 hours. Awesome episode talking about the pyramids and hidden secret vaults in the pyramids of Giza. So there's so many cool things coming up. What I wanted to talk to you all about is I wanted to throw it out there and get your thoughts on this. I've got 10 plus episodes scheduled to be recorded and or recorded right now and in the, in the can, so to speak, which is amazing. getting, I think as the channel grows too, people will say yes. Also getting, they give, their community good reviews, like, oh, he was okay to talk to. He wasn't a jerk. I don't want to be a jerk to anybody. But anyways, it's going good as far as getting more people to come on. Now, the one thing I don't want to do is, you figure 1 episode a week, 10 episodes, that represents 2.5 months, basically. I don't want to interview someone today and then have not have their episode show up for 2.5 months. So that's the point. The point is, what do you do? And I thought about the potential of going to an extra episode per week, maybe every once a month and or every other week. And it would probably drop later at night on a Friday after the Friday night mic drop. Like it might even be like, okay, the Friday night mic drop's done, boom, the episode starts. That's a possibility. And you don't have to watch it when it comes out. You can watch it, the next day or whatever. But wanted to get your thoughts about that. If anybody has any thoughts, Finn from Scotland. Awesome from Scotland. I'm sorry, you didn't say Finn. Yeah, Scottish accent is pretty cool. He's awesome. It's every once in a while too. He dropped like just a funny little way of saying things. It was pretty cool. So many things. Yeah, if I had like multiple episodes a week, maybe every other week. I mean, is that something you guys would watch, or are you just like, no, once a week is better. Just leave it at that. I'd like to get your thoughts and opinions on it. If you're not watching live now, you're not commenting right now. If you know me, you guys, like, I don't see Fred on here. I'd love to get Fred's thoughts and advice on it. John, Christine, so many. Deneen, Margaret, Heather, Julie, so many people. I just like to get that because there's a lot of information, and it's only going to help continue to grow the channel. That's the big thing, the further the reach, the more people you're reaching about this stuff, and just not, living life with blinders on. And boy, I tell you what, the more I get into this, the more I realize that's exactly what is going on. And I suddenly realized, like, I'm here trying to get the blinders off of everybody, and I realized I've got them myself. I just did an episode with a gal by the name of Alana Freeland. Wow. And that'll be coming out down the road too. So, anyways, yeah, I'm going to have to make a decision about this pretty soon. Because like I said, I've got a lot going on, and yeah, it's work, but at the same time, it's more work. It's more work getting an interview than it is from the moment you have the interview done until you upload it. The editing, just the time of doing the episode, it takes an hour plus, whatever. But like, getting it booked and all that stuff is the real struggle. And I'm just me doing all this. So, for now, but anyways, someday we get enough going on, get enough subscribers and whatnot, maybe get something going on advertising wise or whatnot. I will bring someone in to help, and it'll make it far better. No doubt about it. But right now it's just me. There is some value in watching live as a community. We'd lose some of that with a late start time. Yeah, I agree. I would like to see, like right now, if I was to commit to a 6 p.m. or 6:15 at the latest Friday night mic drop, and then as soon as it's done, boom, go into a 7 p.m. release. Now, it is Friday. It is a weekend, and I get it. But it's difficult to break out into another weeknight. And the algorithm, gets a little weird about that. So I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to figure it out. I think if I do it, I will roll it out 7 p.m.-ish on Friday nights because we already have Friday night going. And then from there, maybe if it becomes a regular thing, 2 episodes a week, maybe we pick another night. I don't know. And just leave the Friday night mic drop, I don't know. So, y'all take your thoughts, get your thoughts together on that and let me know. I mean, you don't have to answer right now. I appreciate you guys giving me your thoughts. Yeah, you can watch over the weekend. That's the thing that's kind of cool. But you're right. There's value in watching it live as a community. A lot of people don't know about the community. If you're watching this I guess if you're watching this, you kind of know, but if you're watching this, there's a chat going on the right side of the video, and there's a chat going on during episode releases as well, premieres. So check that out if you haven't. But yeah, so that's about it, man. For tonight, E-Rock was awesome. A lot of people made some really cool comments about E-Rock's episode, and he wrote me today, and he texted me, and it sounded like he was crying in his text. Oh, I love you, son. That guy, he's awesome. He's so emotional. He really is. But yeah, he was last night. E-Rock's Untold Story, Elvis Faith, and a Life Transformed. And so people have been watching that. And we just launched on ETA Files the ability to become channel members. That's what you see all the folks in green, channel members. And the emojis and all that stuff. So yeah, if you support it, you want to support your favorite ETA, throw out a super chat or something, please do it. All that stuff set up now. And listen, ETA Files, I always said ETA Files was going to grow faster than the Ryan Files out of the gate. And it has proven that. It's almost 600 subscribers now, and we've only been doing it since the beginning of January. So, and that far outperforms the first, couple months of the Ryan Files. However, the Ryan Files has a much, much, much higher ceiling long term. So it's just good to see both of them doing well. I have Brooke Wright is out there right now. You can watch that episode early. Brooke texted me, I guess sometime this morning. I need to get back to him. He said, "Is there any way I can watch the episode before it comes out?" And I'll talk to him about that. I don't know that I have the time to do that. It's a great episode. I understand being whatever, but anyway, yeah, we got some cool guys. Eddie Miles is coming into Branson on Sunday, and thank Ronnie Craig for this. He's helping me with putting up Eddie Miles at the King Condo, one of his King Condos. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. Come to Branson, stay at the King Condo 1, 2. He has another rock and roll condo, and then the Presley Penthouse. Check them out. They're fun. But yeah, Eddie's going to be staying there, and I'm going to go over and interview him around 3 p.m. Live, not live, but in person. I got to bring cameras and all that stuff, but we're going to get that done on Sunday. So in a couple of weeks, you'll get to see Eddie Miles. He's a legend in the business as well. So it's awesome to be able to do that with him in person. Just some really cool things going on. So, yeah, Brooke Wright's awesome. I don't know. Some of us are emotional, Ryan. We love deeply. That sounds like you're saying I'm not, and you'd be wrong about that. Yeah, Tony, you've stayed at both of them. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways. Well, listen, I'm going to get a bite to eat, hang out with my wife, the kitties, and just have a night of rejoicing and celebrating the 10,000, and that's because of you, so thank you. Anything you want to send me, the Ryan Pelton Files at gmail.com. Any thoughts on the extra episode stuff? It might not be all the time, too. It might just be over the next, I don't know. But like I said, I don't want to sit on an episode, especially some of the stuff I'm trying to get, which is kind of more current events stuff. And I think that will only get more and more. The larger the base grows, the more ability you have to get bigger names on quicker about things that are happening now. Perfect example. Just read something new, or just heard something new about China having bases on the dark side of the moon, bringing back helium-3, which we've talked about on the episode about the moon, for energy and wireless energy from space, and China's doing it. These are fascinating things that I want to get people on to talk about. So, if an episode comes up and I can get the right person, I want to be able to get the information out there to you as soon as possible. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. But anyway, that's it. Man, have a great Friday night. If you aren't already, enjoy yourselves. And thank you so much for supporting this channel. And just, being friends at the end of the day. I do appreciate that about each and every one of you. So, be awesome. See you on Tuesday for Nemesis, the Destroyer. You're going to enjoy this. And also, one last thing. Keep in mind, just about every episode, one way, shape, or form or the other. Not trying to hide anything, but sometimes you just got too much content for one episode. A lot of these conversations get longer. I know tomorrow I have a conversation with a gentleman who said, how long are your episodes? And I was like, well, we try to, right around an hour. So he goes, well, an hour, I'm just going to I'm not even getting started at that point. So I'm expecting tomorrow to be maybe 2-3 hour conversation. And we'll see what happens. And the subject matter is fascinating, and I could talk about it for 8 hours. So, yeah. But the bottom line is some of these episodes are getting longer and whatnot. And I have no idea what my first point was. But anyways, I'm just tired. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And get a hold of me at theryanfiles@gmail.com. Promote or let me know what you think about having the extra episodes, and share this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Still, we've got 10,000 subscribers, and only 20% of the people that watch are subscribed. Think about that. So, anyways, love you guys. Tony, spelled peace, Pease. I love it. You guys rock. We'll talk soon. Be amazing. And let's go. Thank you guys so much. Amazing. What do I hit? What am I doing?